From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine, everybody. John Burton with you for the next hour. Got a lot to get to this hour. Of course, the Vanderbilt Commodores have a new men's basketball coach, Bryce Drew. We'll hear a little bit of his press conference coming up. Also, Steve Lehman is going to join me bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about the Bryce Drew hire, maybe look ahead to the Titans in the NFL draft, and some other things going on as well. But and also Virgil Herring at 8:45 is going to join us. We're going to preview the Masters, which of course gets underway tomorrow at Augusta. We're looking forward to that. Of course, third and fourth round coverage you can catch on News Channel 5 all weekend long. So we look forward to the Masters from Augusta. But first, you know me, you know this show. We support professional wrestling, especially locally here. And I got a couple of very special guests with me tonight. You've seen him in TNA wrestling all over the world, all over the country. The great Chase Stevens is here. Chase, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
And you got a pretty good-looking friend with you.
It's cost me a lot. She's charging by the second.
If she looks familiar, folks, she should. It's Leah from Grumpy's Bail Bonds, those great commercials. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
We were talking about independent pro wrestling and how, you know, it's so great for the fans because they can get up close and personal with the talent. They can, you know, the shows are affordable for the most part. You know, depending on what kind of mood you're in, they're very family friendly. So
Yes.
it's a good time. We got some great shows coming up in this area, actually out in the borough coming up, right?
Yeah, April 7th, we're in Murfreesboro at the MTSU Murphy Center. April 8th, we're in Springfield at the Springfield Center. And April 9th, we're in Fairview at the Fairview High School. We got Road Warrior Animal coming in.
Wow.
We got Billy Gunn. I'm actually wrestling Billy Gunn tomorrow on the main event at MTSU Murphy Center. You get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Like he just said, you know, independent wrestling is where it's at. You get to come out and get personal with the wrestlers. You get to interact with us, talk to us, get to know us a little bit, and that's a little bit what's different. It's affordable. I think it's cheaper to come to an independent wrestling show than it is to go to the movies anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
So we're doing something good. Me and Leah here got together and we started Arcadian Wrestling Association, AWA, and we're bringing wrestling back to Tennessee the way it used to be. You know, everybody talks about, all your grandparents and talk about how wrestling, it used to be men and they were tough guys and
Sure.
things like that. And we look at things for the last 15 years going, what happened? What happened to those guys?
Yeah.
Well, they're still out there. It's just TV didn't want them.
Yeah.
So we went out and we found 16 of them and we put them under one roof. So, April 7th, I can't even tell you, like, we're gonna take you out of reality and put you into our dream. Mm-hmm. When you come, we've changed the scenery around. It's not just a wrestling show. You're part of the show. So, and that's what's wrong with wrestling.
And that's important for the fans, isn't it? The fans need to feel like they're a part of the show, right?
And the things that they do on TV today, they don't include the fans in on anything. And that's where we're changing everything. We want everything to go back to the fans. We want to give to the fans. We want the fans to interact with us. We want them to be a part of our show and feel like they're a part of it. And we want that memory, that long haul memory, to where they can tell their children and grandchildren about how they got to meet Chase Stevens, how they got to shake my hand, how they got to see, Road Warrior Animal and Billy Gunn, and they, as many times as they've been to the other competition, they didn't get to reach out and sit down and talk to them,
Yeah. Usually it's like $250 for a meet and greet, right?
Yeah. And this is $25 for VIP.
Nice.
You get in at 5 o'clock. You get in the door at 5. You get to meet Road Warrior Animal, Billy Gunn, me, Bram from TNA. There's a bunch of us. Like I said, there's 16 of us. You get to come in the door and just get personal with us. From 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock is just for VIP.
Yeah. I got to ask you about Bram. Is he really that crazy?
Oh, he's a monster. He's a monster.
I love that guy. He's terrific.
We have a bail bondsman. I don't know if you know that or not. Like, that's why we had to get a Bram.
Yeah. Leah, how much fun is this for you to be involved in sports entertainment? It's a blast, isn't it? Putting it together and just when you see it all come together, it's kind of like a good sportscast, which I rarely have these days. But when you see it all come together, it really is a lot of fun, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and why I got involved in it is because I've been sponsoring wrestling for so long, and it was so fun. But I just felt like that we could put on a better show the wrestlers all did a great job. I just felt like the show was lacking, and like Chase said, we wanted to involve the people. We wanted to bring the spectacle back to the spectators, and it's my creative outlet. I mean, we started this business about 3 months ago from just an idea, and we own all our own lights, all our own equipment, and all our own decorations. And for me, when I really get tired of chasing bail jumpers and figuring out, where they are, I can think about the show and the creative aspect, and it is so fun. And just to get to meet the wrestlers and to know them and to work along beside them, I mean, it's just such an honor. Especially he wrestled in North Carolina a few weeks ago, and we got to meet Animal. I got to meet Animal up there.
Yeah.
And it is just it's an honor. It's a privilege.
No, that's fantastic, Chase. You've had an incredible career. You've wrestled all over the country, all over the world. What was your experience like in TNA? Do you walk away from that a good experience, a okay experience? How would you rank it?
I had a fantastic experience with TNA. I was there from the get-go. So 2001, I signed my contract with TNA, and all the way to 2008, and I helped build a company from the ground up.
Yeah.
So inside it makes you feel good that you get to watch them now and see what they've done and where they've evolved to, and say, I was an original. I was part of that.
Yeah.
I helped get them to where they're at, and that's what we're doing. We're starting from the ground up, and we're just doing it a little bit different way. We're not trying for TV or anything like that. We're just you want to see us, you got to come out to the show, and and it's not the fact that we shouldn't have TV or don't want TV. We just don't need TV. We want the old territories to come back, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a territory. The long-term goal is to run 16 shows a month.
A month.
A month.
Yeah.
Yep. 16 shows per month.
Yep.
Yes.
Per month.
Okay.
So
that is
And he's pushing this right now. We're doing 3 in a row. How many people do 3 big shows back to back to back?
That's
and
incredible.
Then next month we're doing 4.
Yeah,
I mean, how much you guys sleeping these days?
Not often.
We don't. I don't sleep. I'm a vampire. I don't sleep.
Sleep is the enemy, right?
Yeah. I fall out, so I don't go to sleep.
Yeah, Leah, when you get inside the ropes and inside the locker room of professional wrestling, I remember the first time that I did it, and you just kind of see how everything comes together, how a show comes together from the start to the finish. I think you'd agree with me. It's an unbelievable experience, isn't it? I mean, it's so much. People underestimate how much work goes into putting a wrestling show together, from the workers, from the referees to the concession people. I mean, it's a big deal.
It is. It's exhilarating. And we've only had 1 show. So this is our second show, but it's a series called War of Gods. And it's, like I said, it's 3 shows in a row. And it is more work than I ever would have thought. I'm used to working day and night, but people who do it well make it look a little easier than it is, just tying it all together. But it's very rewarding and very fulfilling. I'm very excited about being a part of it.
Chase, there's been mixed reaction to what professional wrestling is today. Talking about the major feds, WWE, TNA, which you were a big part of for so many years. In your opinion, what's missing in today's professional wrestling? Is it just as simple as, well, it's PG now and you can't do as much? Is it do we need to go back to the Attitude Era? What are your thoughts on where this business is right now?
The Attitude Era was big. That's whenever wrestling boomed and hit its peak. And you can only go so high on the peak, so it's got to come down. But it's been down for 15 years. Now it's time for somebody else to pull it back up again. And I feel like independent levels they're drawing 1,500, 2,000 all over the country.
Yeah.
So right now is the time where wrestling's coming back and getting in people's hearts again, and they're wanting to see it. They're wanting to see more and more of it. What I think is missing is the actual wrestling part,
the storytelling, like we were talking about off camera, right?
Of wrestling. You have to have a bad guy. You have to have somebody that you don't like to have somebody that you do like. You can't have a hero without having a villain, and that's what's missing in wrestling. Everybody wants to be cool now. They want to come out and they want to get their cheap pops and they want to do their moves. It ain't about that. It's about punch this guy square in the face and look at that crowd and just tell them what you think of them. And whenever you do something something like that, then they're mad. You know, they're wanting to come at you, and thank the Lord for the security we have.
Yes.
You know, they work harder than I do. I think they hold a lot of people back. So the fact that we have them on our side, you know, and we got some bail bondsmen that help hold people back, and I thank them too. I know you're sitting out there watching this right now.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
Peace to you.
Yes.
Hi guys. I want to say hello to all of our law enforcement, our bail bonds people. You guys do a great job.
Yes, you do. You protect me, and I love that.
What got you into professional wrestling? When did it all start for you?
1997. I went and did an MMA fight in St. Louis, Missouri, and Dan Severns was the headline on the show. And you know, I stayed after my match and watched him, and he was walking to the back, and he's like, "Don't leave without talking to me." So I was like, "Wow, man, I'm probably in trouble now." So I went back there and met up with him, and he's like, "You know what? You're a professional wrestler." And I was like, "Well, I never thought of that. What's that entail?" You know,
well, you look like a professional wrestler.
Yeah, I had no idea. Never even thought about it.
You look like you've been in a fight in your life.
I've done a lot of that. You know, I boxed since I was 8, so it all equaled up.
That's why you're a Golden Gloves guy, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know. I never watched wrestling growing up. It was never like that big passion of mine. You know, I wrestled in high school and did really well with it, but I just never thought about being a professional wrestler. I didn't even know how you got involved in that.
Yeah,
so he gave me the phone numbers to call and everything, and I made some phone calls, and Tracy Smothers trained me and took care of me for a good year.
He's a great guy.
He was a monster.
Met him a few years ago in the Key Sport. He's a terrific guy.
He was so mean to me back in the day. So mean to me. And then, but I respect it. You know, I didn't then. I was like, I wanted to go home, but I didn't have a cell phone to call home. You know, so I didn't have no money to use a payphone either. So I just had to stay in the ar and sleep in the car because he wouldn't give me a hotel. I learned the hard way. And then he introduced me to Kurt Hennig, and I jumped in the car with Kurt and went around and just learned. I got polished by Kurt Hennig, so he took me around and showed me, you know, the ins and outs of wrestling, the business side of it, and then Ricky the Dragon Steamboat caught on to me, and I jumped in with him for you know, about 6 months and went around and did some
couple
seminars
good guys
with
to
him.
learn from, man.
Yeah, the best of the best, man. And then I signed a contract right after that. I mean, I'd come back to Tennessee, and I'd moved to Tennessee in that point in time, and TNA was starting up. I was down at the fairgrounds wrestling at a USA Championship Wrestling show with Burt Prentice, and Jerry Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett was in the top watching, and they come down. They signed 6 of us that night to contracts, but way before TNA even started. We still had another 2 months before it even went into you know, an actual company. But we signed contracts right then and there. We was the happiest people in the world.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's great having you guys here. One more time, tell us about these shows coming up. We want to put it up on the screen so everybody can see.
Yeah, April 7th, we're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at the Murphy Center. April 8th, we're in Springfield, Tennessee at the Springfield Center. And April 9th, we're in Fairview, Tennessee at the Fairview High School.
That's good stuff, man. Chase, thanks so much for being here. Leah, it's great to finally meet you. I love your commercials.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are fantastic, and continued success.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. My pleasure. I'll talk wrestling anytime.
That's all I do.
If you watch this show, you know I'll talk wrestling anytime.
That's all I do.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Predators getting ready for the playoffs. Their home finale, regular season, tomorrow night. We'll get to that. Virgil Herring is coming up. Steve Lehman is coming up. Don't move. Stay with us.